Armada Book for Chapter 2 The Trikuses Part 1. Olive reported, the Dugnogs are 40 MLY from the Norset planets. They will see the first Norset planet in 4 days. We will be 80 MLY away from them tomorrow. Did you tell Sigatonen to meet with us? Yes, he will be there tomorrow before lunch. Ellie and Roger beams in. Sir, have you read about Lachine and Linda? What, they died? Ellie laughed. No, they took on 4,200 Bourbon ships and managed to convince them to go back after disabling 2,200 of their ships with just 20 ships. Clean, very few casualties. Lachine was the strategist. That is impressive for a person not even used to intergalactic warfare. Andrew said. Some people are just born with it. They stalked the Bourbon ships by correctly predicting their course, hiding along the way and tagging when they found the opening. Lachine timed every move they had to do. Then before the moment of contact, they deployed their drones right next to their targets before starting the fight. Neat and clean, that's how I call it. Roger said. She just earned her ships. Andrew said. At a very young age, she's already as good as Roger, Eric, or even you, sir. Ellie observed. Isn't she older than you, Ellie? Roger asked. She is younger by 3 years and she looks really young for her age. As Roger said, if you have it, you have it. She was probably born with it and then honed it by her infantry experience. Andrew said. I just hope Linda would be with us tomorrow. Ellie said. I know she would love to be with us. Andrew added. The next day Sigatonen arrived with 2 Norset commanders before midday. Hi everybody, this is Commander Bromat and Commander Tabuda. They came to accompany the Dugnogs to their ancestors. Andrew answered, Hi Siga, aren't you excited to see your people after so many years? Very excited. I had to leave them because I could not go on to be alive for so long. It would be impossible in their view. Anyway, I have these made for you. He handed them translator sets so they can speak and hear and understand the Dugnog language. So now that they are able to travel far, it would be okay to reveal yourself? Ellie asked. Yes, and to introduce them to the Norsets. Olive reported, the probes show they are stopping by a planet for some supplies. The planet is unoccupied. They are going down near a lake. Andrew, how do you want to play this out? Reek asked. Sarudam, any ideas? Andrew turned to Sarudam. Let's wait for them by the lake as our real selves, without Sigatonen. We can bring Commander Bromat and Commander Tabuda so they will see 3 aliens in one group. That would really kick their interest. I like to appear as a Marinti so they will see me change later on. Now there are 4 alien species. Roger said. Sarudam agreed, that's a good move. But did you notice that Marintis and Talonauts look similar? Roger just shrugged. We have to appear where their ships would land. Ellie said. Their ships will land in an hour very near the lake. If you want to be there, now's the best time. Olive said. Sigatonen, we will prepare your grand entrance. Olive, get a body and come with us. Sigatonen laughed. Fine, I will watch from here. Always with drama, huh Andrew? You know me, that's what I do. Sarudam exclaimed, let's go. Reek, are you coming with us? Reek was having a hard time with his new brown hunter clothes he brought from Earth. Right, Olive, please. Andrew said. This is a nice planet. Bromat, why don't you guys occupy this planet? Ellie asked. We already have more planets than we can handle. Our population is so small relative to the planets we now have even with the return of the backup planets. Tabuda added, I think some of our people go here for vacation or to walk around. Olive just stood there looking at the direction of the ship. They have seen us in their scanners. They are adjusting their flight. 20 ships are going down 80 feet from us near the bank of the lake. They will be touching down in 45 minutes. Let me lie down and rest for 45 minutes. Andrew said. After looking around he saw nobody was following him. He stood right up again. Andrew, we cannot pretend to do something else, they know we are waiting for them. Reek told Andrew. After an hour and 30 minutes, more than 50 people moved towards them from 3 directions. They just stood there and waited as they were being surrounded by the Dugnogs with long laser guns. Olive, tell the Max to tag all these people. Andrew whispered. Greetings? Welcome to our planet. Andrew spoke in Dugnog. Lenore and the other Dugnogs were taken aback. Who are you and what are you doing here? She spoke in Dugnog. Roger started. Hi Lenore, I'm Roger, this is Ellie, this is Andrew, Sarudam, Olive, Dr. Reek, Commander Bromat and Commander Tabuda. Lenore was surprised. Wait, you know my name. Wait, Sarudam, Ellie and Andrew are familiar names. Yes, it means Light of the King, remember? Lenore was quiet trying to understand what's happening. Hi Mertan, how was your trip? Andrew waved to Mertan who was walking towards Lenore. Okay, how did you know my name? And you speak our language? We don't really. We met before, and what did I tell you then? Wait, you were the Marindi scientists we met in one of the planets. Lenore said. There you go. You remember. Roger turned to himself. Now the Dugnogs were shocked. We appeared as Marindi scientists to see what you were doing in that planet. This is our true form. Ellie said. So Sarudam, that is your true form? And what species are you? Lenore asked. We are called Talonauts, and my galaxy is about 3 BLY away before you reach the Dugnog galaxies, which is less than 1 BLY further away. How about you, Andrew? What species are you? Lenore asked. We are called humans, although you may have encountered some of our cousins, smaller guys like this. Hi. No, we have never met your kind. Wait, we met before because you were investigating our presence. Now why did you meet us this time? To tell you where to go. As Sarudam said, the Dugnog galaxy is almost 4 BLY from here. This galaxy is their galaxy. They are Norsets. Ellie said as she pointed to the two Norsets. Mertan, do you notice anything familiar with these two? Roger asked as he pointed to the Norsets. Do I have to? I will give you a clue. They normally live for about 1,000 years, then they move on to another body and live another 1,000 years. Ellie said. I don't have any idea what you are talking about. Lenore said. Would you like to meet your old King Sigatonan? Reek said, breaking the impasse. So this is all about our King Sigatonan? I remember you gave us doubt whether he was dead or not. So he is actually alive? Lenore asked, disbelieving. Some of the Dugnogs trying to follow the conversation started murmuring among themselves. And very busy fixing one planet. He found time to meet you. Andrew answered. Where is he? Mertan asked. He's in my ship. Would you like to meet him? How would we know if it was really him? Lenore asked. You'd know. Do you want to go to our ship now? Ellie said. Yes, where's your transport? Mertan asked. We will all go with all your men here. Andrew said. Where? Lenore asked. Suddenly all the Dugnogs found themselves in Andrew's reception hall. They were all quiet and they slowly started to look around. They could see the planet far out to their upper left. Sigatonan beamed into the hallway. Here he is right now. Ellie told them. Sigatonan was wearing a sleeveless jacket, multicolored, and made him look bigger than he actually was. Mertan recognized the king's jacket and kneeled. Lenore immediately followed. Then the other Dugnogs kneeled as well. And as if on a signal from Mertan, they all bowed their heads, almost touching the floor. Andrew had seen this before, and it was the greatest show of humility and honor for Norsets. Arise, my dear people, Sigatonan said. My king, how is this possible? Mertan asked. Some of the Dugnogs had tears in their eyes as they stood. Andrew faced Mertan. Mertan. Why don't you tell your men to sit while we get some refreshments for you and your men? Mertan signaled to one of the commanders and he told the men to sit. As they approached the table, some ice cream and cups appear. Andrew directed Mertan and Lenore to one long table. They sat down on one side with 4 of their commanders while Andrew's group sat across the table. Sigatonan remained standing. He started by telling his people that the ship has provided some ice cream on the table, and he motioned Ellie to show how it is done. I know you will love this ice cream. Sigatonan said. This elicited the usual, this is incredible, reaction from the crowd. Isn't it incredible? The first time I tasted this I thought about you and thought you would love this too. So it's good that Olive have provided this without me telling her. Sigatonan continued. Olive amplified his voice so he is heard across the reception hall. After this he started by saying that this was his galaxy, that he was a Norset. Then he described how Norsets live and some history. He explained why he had to leave the planet. Then Andrew and his group found him and his adventure was revealed to the whole Norset population. He became somewhat of a celebrity, so much so that he was tasked to reform a whole planet, which was much harder to do. While he built the Dugnog society over a long period of time, putting in the right institutions, this planet had a long history of corruption and injustice ingrained in their mindset. Then he heard about what happened to their Dugnog android planet, which made him sad, but he said there were other Dugnog planets out there, that Andrew encountered one group from another planet under Rabkatan a few weeks ago. Sigatonan then turned to Andrew and his group. This ship has at least 8 alien species working together. So don't be surprised if you see some aliens walking around. This armada is composed of all those species, and they have the most advanced and capable armada in the galaxies, having fought and settled so many conflicts involving thousands of planets. Just a few days ago, 20 ships under 2 female commanders under Andrew, one of them was Linda, who I believe you have met and who has become my assistant in my latest job, turned back an invading force of 4,200 ships with minimal casualties on the side of the enemy. A few weeks ago, Andrew talked with Rabkatan to forgive the humans he was attacking due to the error in the ways those humans conducted themselves. Rabkatan stopped the attack and left. I hope you will learn some of their ways in dealing with conflicts. Olive, bring in the food and wines please. Olive beamed wines and steaks, fish and other Dugnog food on the table. I hope you enjoy the food Olive has so kindly provided. By the way, if you need anything just say Olive's name and ask for it. She's Andrew's ship. Sigatonen approached Andrew's table and all the Dugnogs stood out of courtesy to Sigatonen while Andrew's group just sat there. We are so honored by your presence, great King Sigatonen. Mertan exclaimed. By the way, I am no longer your king, so please treat me as your equal. He sat between Mertan and Lenore. Sir, forgive me for being overwhelmed with excitement sitting beside our great king. So we would travel another 4 BLY to the land of our ancestors? Lenore asked. Yes. As I said, I am no longer king. Just call me by my name. Or you can go there in a day or two through the hop system. But since there are a lot of you, it might take more than a week for all of you to get through. They already know about you and your journey to their galaxy and they have started preparations for your arrival. Ellie said. Andrew added, in fact we have Dugnogs in our armada. Olive, can you tell all the Dugnogs from all the ships to come and meet these people? Roger commented, by the way, your ancestors are a little small, like this tall. Lenore nodded. What is the hop system? Mertan asked. Ellie explained the hops in the shortest way possible. She expected to be cut off once the Dugnogs start beaming in. Reek added quickly, the 2 Norset commanders here are here to escort you through the hops. We can ask the Dugnogs here to line the hops as stationary escorts or ushers to ease your journey. We still need to bring our ships. I think it's a good idea to just go through the hops and I will have some of our people bring the ships over there. The journey would be another 3 or 4 months. Mertan said. Ellie, why don't you install a few TPs in some of their largest ships? If you follow the hop line, Mertan, you will always be able to go back and forth to your ships and the crew can be rotated. Sigatonen said and Ellie nodded. Very well my king, I will do as you say. Please call me by my name Mertan. Sir, forgive me, yes sir Sigatonen. It's really strange for me to even speak your name. In the meantime, do you need anything that we can provide? Andrew asked. Lenore answered, our power generating capabilities are down 40% and most of our people have to bear so much discomfort. I can give you a few hundred generators, say 500, but you would have to rotate this amongst your ships because you have thousands of ships. Ellie said. Sigatonen added, each of those generators can power 5 of your ships. How about food? Roger asked. We intend to fish the lakes. Mertan said. Olive, do they have large storage facilities? Andrew asked. Enough. Do you want me to fill them with fish now? Mertan, Olive can do your fishing for you. Do you want her to fill your storage areas or she can just put them at the banks of the river and cover them with ice so your people can process them? Just put them on the ground. So we can process them. This meat is very soft and delicious. Do you have some of these that you can give us? Lenore said. Olive answered, I can fill all your storage with that meat if you like. Or I can also put them on the ground so your people can handle them. Mertan added, put them on the ground please. So what else would you need? Andrew asked. Lenore quickly answered, a drink. Olive poured some wine into a wine glass and gave it to her. Thank you, Olive. This wine is delicious. So superior to the one we make in the ship. Lenore said. Sigatonen, would you like to have some brandy? Reek asked. Absolutely. I am not really hungry right now. Olive beamed several bottles on the table and onto the other tables. Mertan, taste this. Sigatonen poured a tall one on a glass and gave it to Mertan. Mertan took a big gulp and, this is incredible my king. I mean Sigatonen. Absolutely incredible. He motioned his commanders to get some. Lenore got some as well. Andrew, when you left in our transport in our last meeting, Mertan and I felt something so strange about your group. First you did not appear as scientists and you asked so many strange questions unrelated to the scene at hand. At that point you already knew we would meet our king again, right? Yes, but we let you do your own thing thanks to Roger here. He did not want to interrupt you in your journey until you reached the Norset galaxies from where we would have to give you directions. So here we are. And no, I was not sure we would find Sigatonen, but I had a strong feeling that he was still alive. Mertan was about to say something when several Dugnogs beamed in wearing the usual Armada blue uniform. Then a dozen beamed in. They kept coming in while some have already begun to introduce themselves to the visitors. Mertan and his commanders stood and walked towards the Dugnogs. They introduced themselves. After a few minutes there were more than 2,000 Dugnogs. Lenore was still sitting, you were right, they are smaller. She looked at Roger. Sigatonin added, your ancestors are very jovial and always in a happy mood. They regenerate very fast and they learn very fast also. Mertan suggested, we would like to bring them to our ship so our people can meet them, but there are so many of them. Maybe we can just meet them by the lake. Yes, and we can send some brandy, ice cream and wines, some Dugnog food too. Go have a party on us. Andrew said. Yes, I think the side of the lake where we intend to put a base on would be a good location. Mertan said. You will find a mountain of ice near the lake. Underneath the ice are the fish and meat for your ships. Olive said. Mertan exclaimed, we would like to go back now to the lake with our ancestors. Andrew nodded to Olive. Immediately, Olive beamed all the Dugnogs to the lake, leaving Andrew and his people in the reception hall.